Hello and welcome to Effective Strategy Gaming. Today, we're going to be playing Hearts of Iron 4 Mexico on Elite Iron Man mode with historical AI, so let's get into it. First off, we're going to go plan of Agua, Prieta. And then there's a really bad infantry division here, if I can click on it. And we're going to get rid of that. It only has 3 infantry regiments in it. But these other division types are going to be usable. We'll have an infantry general and we'll have a cavalry general, and we'll pick up our field marshal through our focus tree. Research is going to be kind of just the same old to start off with, and then I'll show you what we're doing with that. And then if you're an MP player, avert your eyes. We're going to go all military factory all the time. Let's adjust what we're building here. Okay, so that should work. And then we're only going to build convoys, no navy. Okay, so let's get into the focus tree here. So there's a lot of 35-day focuses, and this is going to be fairly confusing to you, especially if you're a newcomer to Hearts of Iron 4, but that's okay. I'm going to boil it down to you. So there's a lot of different focuses here, and there's a lot of underpowered focuses is what I note from the Mexico focus tree. You want to avoid all those. I'm not going to go over those. You're going to get the most value out of this focus tree here at the bottom. And our first event here, Archbishop Pascal Diaz passes away. All you're going to do is replace weak church with assertive church, get the stability in the factory output. You do not want atheist state or Catholic. I believe it's a Catholic church. If you get either of those two things, it will proc a revolution. In addition to this, there's a second revolution brewing, and that is with Senor Cedillo here. And unless you support or arrest General Cedillo, you basically are going to have a revolution breakout in this province up here. It's Cojila. And I'm going to show you how to avoid doing that. You can go communist or fascist. We're going to stay non-aligned. And we're going to do this just for expediency. And basically, just so that we're able to make Mexico OP. And I think if you're mucking around a bit with the focus tree, trying to go fascist or communist, it's going to take you more time, and you're not going to be able to do as much as Mexico. So I'm going to show you guys kind of a very succinct way of playing Mexico today, and one that I think that you'll like. So in terms of national spirits here, there's oil concessions. I don't really care. We're going to get rid of those and beef up our oil. Politicized army, Cedillo tension moderate. So after the Cedillo tension goes up to very high, if you allow it to the Cedillo revolution to go past the Cedillo rebellion to go past the very high tension limit, then that is when the revolution will break out. And then assertive church, this is your church revolution kind of barometer here. And you're just trying to figure out, you know, if the church is going to rebel against you. And there's a lot of different ways of manipulating the church to not rebel against you. So this is actually pretty easy to stay out of a revolution. Talles we got from our second focus tree, and that's Hefe Maximo. And basically, Hefe Maximo, you're going to need to get this early. It is not sending you on the path down here to the war goals, but it does give you the 30% political power gain, and you're going to see later why you need that political power. You're going to need a lot of political power, as a matter of fact. And okay, for our fifth focus tree, we're going to go end land reform because it has 200 political power. And you guys know that I typically go for either a major stability modifier or political power modifier early. So we went 1 with the Hefe Maximo, and now we're going to end land reform and even get another political power buff. And so you kind of got to keep your hands off modifying the government and copy what I do exactly. There's a lot of things that you need to ignore about Mexico in terms of their laws and government and in terms of technology tree and focus tree. So you have to focus and do exactly what I'm doing here in order to get the same outcomes that I'm getting. We are on elite Iron Man mode after all, so every single thing that we do counts. Okay, so we ended land reform and we got the political power, and now we're going to race down to our war goals, and I'm going to get to that a little later. Okay, as soon as we get this political power buff, the first thing we're going to do is get Shadow of Calles, which is going to give us more political power and daily support for unaligned. So if you're new to the channel or new to the game, increased party ideology for the country is in this pie chart here, and we're non-aligned. So therefore, we are this gray piece of the pie, and the more of the pie that is gray, the more stability that we're going to get. And stability is awesome because stability gives us political power gain, factory output, dockyard output, and it also lowers resistance the higher that we have stability. Of course, we don't have resistance because we're not occupying anything yet. So let's make sure to pick up a military theorist next. Yeah, let's do that. And the one thing that I'm going to do differently with this build than I have for almost every other build is that we're not going to go to free trade. And basically, free trade gives you massive bonuses, but we're not going to go free trade because we're conserving political power. And really, the bonuses are not as much for a country like Mexico. We only have 2 research slots here, so the research is not buffed as much as if you're Germany with 4 or 5 research slots. And the economy is terrible, to be honest with you. We only have 3 military factories. Factory output is not going to be adjusted that much. And then, of course, we've got this only 5 civilian factories. So we're not going to be touching civilian economy. And I think that you're going to be very surprised about what's going to happen without touching civilian economy at all. I know that's a major sticking point for a lot of you guys. So let's assess where we're out here. We're strike breaking, so that focus gave us 10% factory output. Okay, I'll take it. Cadillo tensions are low. So these 2 focuses gave us Cadillo tension low. And you can kind of gauge when tensions are going to increase right there. And now that we have another 75 political power, we're going to get Oka here. Consumer good factories, -5%. And basically, we're only going for this line right here to support General Cedillo. Only if we have to. We're racing to the bottom of the focus tree as fast as possible because that's what makes this build OP. Okay, we're going to pick up our 3rd research slot here, which is going to help us quite a bit. I mean, only having 2 research slots is not that great. And pretty much we're only buffing our economy and our military. I was also going to tell you guys about the rest of these decisions. If I'm in a real pickle, I will adjust the church mini game there, but I played this game offline and I was able to not adjust church power whatsoever. So you can completely ignore this. I don't do any of it, and all it's doing is wasting your political power. So hands off. Don't touch that. Okay, concentrated industry next. I'm kind of waiting a little bit to go for some of the military stuff that we need. Concentrated industry is going to allow us to put more military factories in high infrastructure areas, and it's also going to boost factory output by 15%, so that's quite good. But you know, we don't have that many factories. The big thing here is we need to get industrial research speed. Do I need this? I think we're going to take it. Just because we have 2 industrial researches right here. It's going to be good. The big thing is picking up all the military tech that we need. And I think you're going to be surprised at how well we do militarily. This hemisphere of the world is not very militarized, I should mention. Okay, oil field expansion. So we're going to produce 4 oil in 4 different provinces there. So it's a little hard to see that. If you just look at it, you know, a lot of the focus trees are written like this. But if you look at the parentheses at the top, you get 4 oil for 4 of those territories. So we're going to have a lot of oil. I'm going to tell you right now that we are not going to use that oil very much. Okay, let me think about what to do next. Let's go ahead and get superior firepower. So this is gonna sort of be like a speed run. So if we were to build tanks, planes, things of that nature, it is going to take a long time to do that. So we're going to skip all that. It's infantry and artillery only. Okay, we need to pay attention to these church events. Replace assertive church with powerful church. Replace assertive church with weak church. Okay, we're going to go with powerful church. I don't really care about the little, you know, ladder horizontal modifiers there with the stability, and then the consumer goods are buffed. It doesn't really matter that much. And as you can see here, we're going to kind of start getting military tech going here. And we need to nationalize the oil fields. So a couple of the focuses that you get will up the Cadillo tension. So you always want to check this after you pick a new focus once you get down here to in this part of the focus tree. So where we're going to go is we're going to go through the German route here. So we're going to ally with Germany. So New World Order, whenever you see kind of this picture, you're allying with another country. And then we just need to snake over here to march southwards. Now, what march southwards does is give us annex war goals against Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. And then the next focus tree down gives us war goals against Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama. But if I played through this correctly, we can skip this war goal right here as long as we basically take over these 3 countries. I was able to get this right off the bat, which was quite interesting. I didn't understand why that happened, but it did happen. Panama, Costa Rica, and one other claimed gained by Mexico. Yeah, I can't tell why that happened, but it's okay. We'll see if it works this time around. I think that's just about the only random thing that I found through my testing that I couldn't quite explain. So maybe someone can help me in the comments below. Okay, let's take a look at the tensions here. We get some events here. The American embargo. Okay, stability is going to be pretty bad there. Okay, tensions are moderate. So let's get the German resource exchange. And basically, we get 1x 100% research for armor technology that we're not going to be able to use. And then we do get light tanks. So if you guys do want to do like a longer build, you will get the light tank 2 from Germany, which I like to use quite a bit. Start getting divisions going here. Come out in the middle of Mexico. Start training those divisions up. Get these guys set up. Okay, Guatemala first. Looks like we can modify the government, but there's not a lot that I would want yet. Let's save the political power until we know we need to use it. Cadillo tension's very high. All right. Okay, so that focus tree right there, German resource exchange, obviously skipped a few of the Cadillo tensions, it seems like. So we're going to go for privatization. After we get like New World Order and Interior Defense Plan, we'll see what happens here. Yeah, we get the German tank designs. And then let's keep on getting buffs to concentrated industry. I did something a little different. I did not go concentrated industry right away. Instead, I went for improved machine tools first. Played that a little differently. Just because I know we need to buff the production efficiency as much as possible early on for Mexico. So I felt that that was best while playing as Mexico. Okay, so let's check out the Cadillo tensions. We have 128 days. So after we get New World Order, we're going to be able to get one more 35-day focus and then go for the 70. So we're really pushing it quite a bit. So we'll get Interior Defense Plan. Should be fine. We still have 120 days. The German Reich welcomes us to the Axis. So yes, we are in the Axis. Which is weird because we're non-aligned. But that just goes to show you, you do not need to go fascist in order to get your war goals as Mexico. Or enter the Axis because of the focus tree. So we're basically like hacking the focus tree here. The first thing I tried was going fascist, and I was just like, oh, it's taking too long. And it wasted a lot of political power that we needed later. Okay. Getting that, just making sure. And then it would kind of be cheap to get interwar artillery. Be pretty quick. Just get that out of the way because our basic division template here does have support artillery. Okay, so we're going to get Interior Defense Plan. And we have 85 days left, so we will be able to beat that, and we'll get privatization. God, I feel like that's happening very early, all those events. Okay. In this part of the video, I want to talk about Mexico's weaponry here. So it's quite interesting, but Mexico has its own military-grade semi-automatic rifle. It was the first of its type, I think, for any country to adopt. And I'm getting this information off of Forgotten Weapons. If you want to check that out, and it's Mondragon is a rifle, a semi-automatic rifle that a Mexican general, General Mondragon, got and commissioned for the Mexican military to adopt. And I think Ian says on his video that they actually get 2,000 or 3,000 weapons before things kind of go south in the country, and then they actually cancel their kind of their order with, I think it was Steyr. I believe it was Steyr. You can correct me in the comments below. But I watched that video last night. It was a really good video. The Mondragon gun was overly complex, though. So it's pretty much a no-go in terms of IRL military efficiency, but pretty cool gun the way it works. Kind of reminded me of a Gewehr 43 semi-automatic rifle a little bit, because you could work the action manually if you wanted to. And it even has a setting where you can cut off the gas piston and, yeah, just work it manually and not have to worry about the semi-automatic recoil. But way too overly complex for a military rifle. But pretty cool, actually. Really cool, and a really cool piece of Mexican military history. The first thing I thought, though, when I saw the Mondragon was, is this for real? And not only is the Mondragon real, if I can find it, geez, okay, it's over here. Not only is it real, but it's I think it's the only semi-automatic rifle that will be a basic infant or an infantry 2, even in Hearts of Iron 4, unless Canada has their rifle. But I don't think there's too many semi-automatic infantry equipment too. I'll have to double check that. Okay, privatization. We'll put the Cadillo tensions back down to high. And then what we're going to do here is march southward. Okay, we're starting to get our divisions in. These should be enough divisions to crack some of these countries here. Okay, so this part of the world right here has a lot of jungle and mountains. So it's not the most favorable terrain. Let's start picking up a couple of people here. We're going to go for infantry expert. And we're going to hold. The other person that we're going to pick up is General Cedillo himself. You do get him as an advisor, and he will give us army offense of 10%. Okay, field marshal time. Plutarco Calles is OP. You can get all 3 of those field marshal traits. Look at the stats. 4, attack of 7. Are you kidding me? In the supply skill of 3, this guy is awesome. We're good to go. Charis is pretty good because I love the attack. And then Farrell, even though, look at, he only has a skill of 3, he's got that 4 attack. And we're only going to be on the attack. Attack at all times. Okay, so now we're going to see if this works or not, but we're going to skip Unify Centroamerica because we're going to run through those 3 countries we just got war goals from, and we'll get Cadillo private armies out of the way. Actually, we could go Northern Steel and buff our economy real quick. Let me see what our timer's at. 145 days. So I can get 2 things. I kind of want to get General Cedillo. So let's get the private armies out of the way. You can get air superiority. Make sure that we're on aggressive since I'm picking all generals that have attack. Don't forget to declare war, of course. Okay, got that green air. Okay, and we're going to take these out. Just stick with our army that we have now. Up some of that. And then I wish I had Cedillo right now. As you can see, you could just run straight through some of these countries. Okay, a lot going on there. I want to get the Mondragon. Okay, very important. Go for Honduras first. I have the smaller army down here, just build up some battle plan. San Salvador, El Salvador, is actually a tough nut to crack. Really weird. But yeah. You're going to want to encircle it because they have a lot of divisions and it's a very small country, so you're not going to be able to outmaneuver them. Wait till these guys line up. Perfect. Declare war. And you are going to get basic infantry from these countries. So you're going to replenish your infantry equipment fairly quickly. And then over here in Guatemala, you're typically going to get one military factory and one or two civilian factories. And those are mainly from the generic focus trees that you get those factories. So if you attack later, you're going to get more factories. Something to bear in mind there, but since we want to take out the elephant in the room here, we want to attack early. 100%. Have him readjust. Tegucigalpa. And we got him. Get them lined up again, boys. And you guys are going to be able to do this a lot better than me. You're going to be able to micro a lot better than me. If you sit here and focus, you could definitely micro and optimize this even better. Just ignore the plain tech. Okay, so one big thing that I forgot to get is the transport ships. So let's see how quickly we can churn those out. Okay, we're ready to go with San Salvador. And as you can see, they have 11 divisions. I'm not sure how big the divisions are, but there's 11 of them. And it's quite hard to push in there. Even with green air. And then our German allies are kind of hanging out, watching our backs here. Try not to train troops while you're in an active war. That's one of my rules. Okay, so Cedillo tensions are high. And let's just go get the general himself here, because I want to try to skip over this. I want to get him in our armed forces, because he's going to save a lot of lives just by the fact that he's so good at combat. We're going to be able to push over the next two countries without much of a fight, though. We've got Nicaragua and Costa Rica. We'll see how it goes here. When we get down to Panama, we need those transports so that we're able to do a naval attack. And because that was the one mistake that I made. So instead of the Mondragon, we should have gotten transport ships, or even support weapons too. We should have gotten transport ships because we're going to need them like right now after we take out San Salvador. Sorry, El Salvador, I apologize. Okay. So let's let a little time pass and then see if we skip that focus tree goal. There's no trick to taking these states here. They're pretty much pushovers. Wow, I wonder if it was a glitch. It did happen a little later that we skipped it and we got war goals against these countries. $435 days. And as you can see, we don't have support equipment. Yeah, we're going to bite the bullet and go for delay. Nope, I must have been wrong here. So I must have just gotten those war goals from the focus tree, but the focus tree did cancel. So not quite sure what happened there. Why I got that early. And then after we get support General Cedillo, basically you won't have to worry about the Cedillo revolution. We're only going to have to worry about the church revolution. Okay, Unify Centroamerica. We'll start that unification process, and we'll get Cedillo with his 10% division attack there, part of our military staff. And nothing really else that we should get right now. So what we're going to do is, after we get the next war goals, we're basically going to integrate the South. And that's going to give us decisions to core all the countries that we just took over. So very powerful. And I'm pouring quite a bit of tech into infantry equipment because that's really what's going to make our army work. No point going mobile warfare doctrine because we don't really have time with this build to build any tanks or planes for that matter. Okay, so we can declare war. Okay, we're integrating the South. So this is going to go pretty quickly. They have some provinces here that don't have anyone in it. Let's line people up again with field marshal orders. Make sure to roll out the old Control B there. And we have infantry expert on one of our generals. That's going to be really good. Okay, we're lined up again. Kind of tripped me out, but these guys are way up here, but they are actually on the border. And I don't think that Costa Rica has an army. All right, let's go back to training some troops here. And then let's make sure we're going to go from the one of our core states over here. So we can get in a war with Costa Rica pretty early here. But I'm gonna advise you not to do that. So what you're gonna need to do is basically get transports earlier than I did. And there we have it. But we could have already set this up to where we could have already started attacking Panama. Okay, there's no more tech that I can get, so now we're going to do construction, which basically doesn't buff much of anything. Let's see, we have 5 civilian factories, so there's not going to be a lot of buff to construction, just by virtue of that. Okay, we'll get them on the order. And we'll just let the order kind of build up. Planning for a minute here. And we're taking out Panama next, baby. Could taste those mojitos now. Oh, make sure to set your navy. You do actually have a navy. Like that. And then we can just declare war. We're close enough. And then turn these bad boys on. I don't really think that this slowed me down too much. I caught that transport mistake in enough time. All right. So basically the next thing that needs to happen here is we're going to attack into the United States. As crazy as that may sound. I think that the most military factories are going to be found up here in Los Angeles and San Francisco. Yeah, they have 14 unlocks in California here. So we're going to head over there. There's only like 8 unlocks. Oh, there's 14 unlocks in Texas as well. Huh. Let me rethink this. We need to maybe draw lines that are actually over Texas. Maybe like that initially, and then we'll draw different lines later. All right, everything is going to plan here. We're going to integrate the South, and then we're going to have a lot of different mini decisions that are going to pop up here. All right, next thing we're going to do is seize the Panama Canal, and this is going to trigger war with the United States. And because we're doing it early, we shouldn't have to worry about the UK coming into it. Let's hope that I'm right about that. Okay, so this is going to take 35 days, and then we're able to integrate all these states. So let's go ahead and do that. So that's why we saved all that political power. And basically, when we get political power again, we should use it for army regrouping, or we're going to need more manpower. But by virtue of integrating these states, we're going to get a lot of manpower as well. But when we attack into the United States, we're obviously going to burn a lot of manpower. We just have to integrate the Panama Canal, and Belize is right there. The UK owns that. So now a border conflict is going to happen. If you've ever played Japan or Russia, you know about border conflicts. They're going to take some of your divisions away from you, take one of your generals kind of randomly, and then have a border conflict down there at the Panama Canal. Okay, the next thing that I want to do is buff our economy. So I kind of want to go... Oh no, we're going to need to nerf the church. So that decision that popped up earlier, go Operation Just Cause. So we do not want a Catholic church. And I want to repeal the calles and come down here and get the 160 political power. So this would give us war support, consumer good factories plus 2%. And then you could get the Prince of Terror, but you don't really need him because you're going to have wars against pretty much everyone. Let's go ahead and get the civilian and military factory here and the iron, which I probably should have been trading for. Let's go ahead and get iron from Germany or Japan, rather. Hopefully it can cross. The U.S. tends to shut down the Atlantic routes pretty early. Okay, so they took 4 of my good divisions here. And this general who's okay. He's not that great, but he's okay. I don't know if this glitches out, but some of these divisions get kind of taken out of the army that they were in. And we're going to lose this. Mexico seizes Panama Canal. Operation Just Cause fails. Okay, that's fine. And the political power loss is fine as well. Go ahead and combine these divisions back where they need to be. And then let's get all these divisions out and put them with the infantry general there. We'll switch this up a bit. We only really need 2 divisions over here, so this should work just fine. This is a part of the United States, so you need to account for that there is a division right there, so don't leave that alone. And the trick here is you're in the Axis, remember, guys? So we're basically going to be able to bring Germany into this war. And we want this war to proc as soon as possible. Probably shouldn't be doing the Mondragon. Make sure these guys... Oh, of course, they're going as slow as possible. Down here. Okay, these guys are moving up. So we might initially lose some territory, but there's a little trick that I'm going to show you that's pretty OP. Execute interior defense plan. Attack bonus against the country. The United States, 15%. Defense, 15%. That is crazy good. So if we start getting pushed back a lot, we can use that. Or if we want to attack, we can use it as well. Okay, what's going to be impactful now during this war? This war should be less than a year. If we could pull it off properly. What can I use right now? Really nothing. So, I mean, we'll just do the support weapons 3. Sure. Just so that the tech screen stops bothering me so much. Now, I could nerf the church right now. Replace powerful church with assertive church. So let's go ahead and nationalize the church lands. So we're going to have to use that, unfortunately. Did get the political power back quite well. And then we're going to get a defensive war against the U.S. here. So I think our stability is still going to go down to basically 0, but we're going to have to see what happens. And this might take a few days, and it kind of throws you off, but they will attack into you. Or at least it happened every time in my testing. Okay, we got the Northern Steel. And we can't rescind the Mexican secession yet. Let's start controlling the army. You need war support for some reason, you can incite tensions. Wow, and it does not look like the US is going to come in. This is the first time that this has happened to me. We're probably too powerful. Or maybe I did it too early, too efficiently. Too effective. I know that they're just going to come in randomly here. Maybe if I take some units off the line here. Here, weak. All right, and then we're able to go ahead and repeal the Cayes law. Stability 5. Consumer good factories -2. All right, so not quite sure what's happening here with the United States. They are not attacking into me. This is new information. So something random must not have happened. But we're going to end the video here. And the next video that I'll do, I'll try to figure out what happened and why the United States did not attack into me, and get you guys that information. And then we'll take out the big superpower here as Mexico. Pretty good looking Mexico here so far. Really loving the build, really having a lot of fun with Mexico, but you have to kind of blank out most of their focus tree. A lot of their focus tree is just horizontal moves, and it's not going to get you ahead. But yep, that's going to be all for now. Please leave a like and subscribe to Effective Strategy Gaming, and I'll see you on the next one.